Poetry Analysis 100, To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell. Introduction and Summary. To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell consists of 3 stanzas. The anonymous speaker does not disclose any of his physical or biographical details about himself. The speaker is speaking to a nameless woman, trying to persuade her to have sex with him. In the first stanza, the speaker tells his beloved that if they had enough time her coyness would be acceptable and it won't be a crime. He tells her that he would spend years admiring the beauty of every part of her body and eventually reach her heart. He says that he would spend years on each part of her body before reaching her heart if they had enough time. Heart can be interpreted both as a metaphor for sex and a metaphor for love. As the second stanza begins, the speaker says that they do not have time. He tells her that death is forever. He tells her that in her grave her virginity will be eaten up by worms if she does not have sex with him when they are alive. He says that they should not waste time because after a definite time the sexual lust will burn up and become ashes. In the third stanza also he continues to persuade her to have sex with him while they are still young. He mentions birds of prey mating. He tells her that they should also get involved in sex before the time runs out. He says that he wants to play a game. It is implied that the speaker wants that they should release their pent-up frustrations into sexual act and consequently be free. In the final couplet, the speaker comes down a little. He says that time will not stop for them. He says that they can't stop time, but they can change places with time. He says that they should pursue time. Critical analysis. The poem has been written in the classical tradition of a Latin love elegy. The speaker wants to seize the day, or get the maximum out of the present. He tries to seduce his beloved to have sex with him. To His Coy Mistress also shows the tradition of the erotic blazon, in which a poet creates elaborate images of her lover's beauty by carving her body into parts. In this poem also, the speaker mentions almost every part of her body. The poem is written in the form of couplets. The lines follow iambic tetrameter. The rhyme scheme is A, B, B, C, C, and so forth. The speaker begins his argument by saying that if they had enough time, he would spend years admiring the beauty of every part of her body before reaching her heart. He says that since they do not have enough time he can't accept her coyness and he incites her to have sex with him. He claims that he could love her from 10 years before the biblical flood narrated in the book of Genesis, while the lady could refuse his advances up until the conversion of the Jews. It refers to the day of Christian judgment prophesied for the end of times in the New Testament's book of Revelations. The metaphor vegetable love suggests a slow and steady growth that might increase to vast proportions. It might be pointing to a phallic suggestion, implying the increase in size. He says that he could spend even 1,000 years in praising the beauty of each part of her beauty because the lady deserves it due to her superior stature. However, he again incites her to have sex with him because they do not have enough time. With the 21st line, the poem's mood changes. The speaker asserts that Time's winged chariot is always near. The speaker's rhetoric changes from an acknowledgement of the lady's limitless virtue to insisting on the radical limitations of their time as embodied beings. Once dead, he assures the lady her virtues and her beauty will lie in the grave along with her body as it turns to dust. Likewise, the speaker imagines his lust being reduced to ashes, while the chance for the two lovers to join sexually will be lost forever.